I just hit it because I've got my note right here. And another thing that would be helpful is tell me to stop recording. Last week, Beto and I hung out for like 20 minutes just chatting, and I recorded every bit of it. I have a little ADD, so it's hard sometimes for me to keep up with what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to get started here. One of the things that I want y'all to keep in mind that right now I've got y'all all on gallery view so I can see everybody. But when we start, I want you to hit speaker view that's in the right-hand corner. So what that will do is when, like when Lisa starts teaching, she'll be on the main screen. And it's just easier and nicer to see the teacher teaching in the middle of the screen for me. So I'm so glad that all of you are here. This is awesome. I love it. This is what I call, we're gathering around the sacred fire. And it's a place that we come to, hey, Rosemary, I don't know you, but I'm glad you're here. It's a place that we gather to connect especially during this time, and to support each other on the unfolding of this journey that we're in. This vision, I call it a vision quest that we're in, actually. And initially, I started doing the teachings, and now I'm bringing in other teachers to give us some words of wisdom to help each of us stand in this circle of connection and the evolution of what's going on in the world. I actually have speakers booked now through the end of May. I'm going into June, so I'm really excited about that. So last week, what we did is each of us lit our candles to hold the sacred fire. And the intention is that when you're in your home, that you can have your candle going and connect into the fire. So the fire is always going. So anytime, and it's being fed by Pachamama, and we got clear that this is Nina Mama, the fire. So, and so she's just constantly burning for us. And so as we gather, we bring our candles so we're connecting in, and then as we leave, we still have our candles so we can stay connected. And I tried to leave my burning all the time, but that got complicated for me as I ran out of candles. So that was hard. That was Beto's recommendation, not to let the fire go out, but I just couldn't do it. So I had to let that one go. But I am working with the fire here every day. So I welcome each of y'all. We are not going to do the introductions. It got too long. And so we've got this. One of the things that I want to speak about quickly is that I've been in touch with another girl in Peru that works with Adolfo. Her name's Dora. And she's also working with Victor, with the Eagle Condor. He's one of the Pacos that works with Beto. And there's some need going on over there with Peru with some of those families. It's my understanding, and I'm going to find out more, that some of the Pacos got stuck in Cusco and can't get back up to the mountains, and there's some need going on there. And so part of what I'm doing here is all this is by donation. And Golden Threads is shifting its vision of the textiles to raising money. So any textiles that are sold through the website, any donations that are made through these teachings are going into a pot, and I'm going to be sending them out to where there's need. If there's need here in our community, like with you guys, somebody needs to let me know. I'm going to be sending for sure some money over there tomorrow to Dora to help with what's going on over there. Beto, I've already donated some money to him, and I've told him, because he's quarantined with 30 family members, that he needs to let me know if, you know, they have needs. So I'm just going to be tracking where I don't want anybody going hungry right now that I know. Like, we want to keep food going and do the best we can. If I need to do a bigger platform of fundraising, we'll do that also. So just keep in mind that on this call, you know, and I'm not tracking who's donating and who's not. The only thing that I ask is that if you can't donate, do some INI within your own family, your own environment, as what you receive here during these teachings. But
Leah?
Yes.
Leah, it's Barb. Would you just let us know where we can make donations?
Yeah, I thought I had a link for the PayPal on when I announce it on Facebook. I need to get, you know, it's kind of hard to always be doing this on Facebook because not everybody gets on Facebook, but I will tell you what I'll do. With the registration process, there's emails. And so I'll just send out a mass email with the PayPal link. How's that sound? And then that way you can decide what you want to do. Okay, we'll do it that way. But I do know that now there's need coming in. Like, okay, and I think that it will continue to grow as this thing goes longer. And I will make sure that wherever the money's being sent, that it's going to somebody that I know and what they're doing with the money. We're not just going to throw money out there in the world. We're gonna make sure where it's going and that it's being put to good use. So that said, so I'm just so grateful for all of you being here. And so we're not going to do the introductions that got too long, but I've asked Sandy to lead us in our grounding meditation. So I'm gonna turn it over to Sandy. And probably a good thing to do is, if y'all are going to use the speaker view, is to go ahead and click on that. And that'll put Sandy in the middle of the screen. And so Sandy, it's yours, girl.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do 4 suns tonight. And you may be sitting or standing, whatever is most comfortable to you, lying on the bed if that works. I want you to close your eyes and take a moment to focus on your breath and connecting to each person here, each of us in our Ayu. Slowly breathing in and out, letting go of all the tension and worry you've accumulated this past week. Go ahead and bring your focus to about 3 inches below your navel, to your energetic core, your Cusco. Within this core, see a glowing sphere about the size of an orange or a grapefruit, depending on your size. As you direct your attention to this bodily sun, with each breath, it becomes brighter. Remember that energy follows attention. Imagine a taproot from that sun dropping down through your house, into the earth, through the ground rock, and straight into the core, the molten core of our Pachamama. The taproot spreads very slowly to all, the 4-legged, the 2-legged, the feathered, the fin, all that crawls upon the ground, the plant spirits, the spirit of the stones and mountains, all that's seen and unseen. As you breathe in, imagine drawing in the elixir of Pachamama, and breathe out the love and gratitude you have for her. The sun in your Cusco will begin to brighten as you breathe. From your Cusco, you send a cord in front of your spine that runs up through your body, out the crown of your head, through the roof of your house, into the sky, all the way to the Earth's sun. Once again, breathing in and out, sending gratitude for the life the sun provides. The energy of the sun is traveling through this channel and nourishing in your belly. The sun once again glows even brighter. The channel is traveling through our sun, through the galaxy, and beyond to the dark sun, the origin of all that is. Again, breathing in the energy of the dark sun, down your central channel to the sun in your Cusco, your belly. See it glowing with more energy and vitality. As you breathe out, send gratitude and love for this perfect cycle. You are complete. Aho. You may open your eyes.
Thank you. You have the perfect voice to do something like that.
I do it for a living.
Yeah, it was great. Hold on 1 minute. Somebody's trying to get in and I need to do one thing. So y'all just sit tight. I'm going to mute y'all in just a minute and then I'm going to read a poem. I can't. Okay, hold on. I can't do anything with this. Okay. All right. Okay. I can't do it. All right. Well, part of, in Beethoven, the first teaching that that he was talking to us about, one of the things that he wanted us to do is each morning do our prayer practice for the ones that were transitioning during this time, that were dying from this virus. That was one of the directions that he gave us. And I'm doing teachings with Daniel 4, who works with the ancestors during this time. And I was on one of his calls the other day, and he was doing a prayer around the ones that are dying. And so I wrote that prayer down because it touched me so much in the way he spoke it. So I want to share this prayer. May all those dying have the road clear for them. May all the bright ancestors be waiting to receive them. May all the fear and confusion around death fall away and give way to compassion, clarity, and reconnection to the bigger network of love and healing. May the ones that have been lost find connection and a way forward. May all those dying yesterday, today, and tomorrow from the current pandemic be welcomed home. May their troubles invoke huge compassion from the living and from the powers that support us. Aho. I thought that was just quite fitting. So I met this girl, this woman on Facebook last year, and I was really drawn. I think what drew me to her was her pictures that she was posting, and I think I asked to share some of her pictures with my Eagle Condor group, and she said sure. And so we started interacting, and she told me that she had written a book about Peru, and of course she lived in Peru, and I knew that at that time when I was connecting with her. And so I purchased her book because of my connection to Peru. And I have the book, and it's Doves Fly in My Heart, My Love Affair with Peru. And I got the book and read it, and there was a lot of, it just told about her journey and how she got to Peru. And then last year when I went to Peru in October, she and I met while in person, because we interacted back and forth. And then I've actually worked with her one-on-one for some personal teachings, for her to help me with questions and to give me some insight on some things that were going on in my life around the medicine. And so and she has been coming in here, sitting around the sacred fire with us. So I asked Lisa if she would come in and teach, and she said yes. So I'm so honored and grateful that she's here. She's in Cusco, Peru right now in quarantine, and she is going to be our teacher tonight. So Lisa, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Thank you, Leah. Okay, well, I am in Cusco and we are on curfew, and I don't know if you can hear the sirens in the background, but Peruvians are pretty noisy, and they're just going to have the sirens going for the next hour or so. So if they're interfering, I'm sorry, there's really not a lot I can do about that. So I can hear them. I don't know if you can or not, so I'll just apologize for that. So thank you for the beautiful introduction, Leah. So I'm so grateful that Leah is offering these opportunities for us to connect. This is day 44 of quarantine in Cusco, and I live alone. It's been pretty lonely. So I'm super grateful to have the opportunity to be able to connect with people. And there's been so many opportunities. I mean, really, people have, I think we're learning how to kind of live a little bit differently as a result of all of the changes that we're going through. So Leah asked me if I would do the main teaching tonight. And I don't know you all, most of you I don't know, and I don't know what you do know and what you don't know, but what I'm going to teach tonight, I think you know, and I think that Sandy just did a wonderful job of something very similar to what I'm going to do, but I'm going to teach it with an Andean, from the Andean standpoint, Andean mysticism. And my teachers principally are Juan Núñez del Prado, who's the retired professor of anthropology at the University of Cusco. And it was his father that actually discovered that the Quero that I work with are the Inca. They've been in hiding for 500 years. And well, as you all, I think, know, we're in the midst of another Pachacuti. It was 500 years ago that we had the last one, which was when the Spanish came to Peru. That's the terminology they use here. And so these teachings were collected by Juan Núñez del Prado. He taught them to Elizabeth Jenkins, Joan Parisi Wilcox, and myself, and a number of other people And so they're pretty well known now. But I'm going to teach it to you using the actual Quechua terminology. And this is a wonderful practice. It's always useful, even if you already know how to do it. Every time I learn something from somebody else, I learn just a slightly different angle. So I don't think this is going to be a brand new teaching. I think most of you all, I know you are all on the shamanic paths or the Andean paths, and that you've done this in one form or another, but this is going to be specifically Andean. Okay, so they are two of the key energy practices that we do, which are called Samin Chakwe and Saiwa Chakwe. And people frequently want to know how to spell these words. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put the spelling of the words in the chat box so that if you want it, you can have it. Let's see. And this is the first time I've actually ever taught on Zoom, so I hope you'll forgive me. Okay, so there they are. I just put them in the chat box, and that's how they're spelled. But before we do the actual meditation itself, or the practice, the energy practice itself, I would like to define and clarify a few key principles or key words. So again, you probably know a lot of this stuff, but I'm going to repeat it in case somebody doesn't. So the very most key and central concept in the Andean tradition is the concept of Ayni. That's A-Y-N-I. And going on the same line as Saiwa Chakwe, sorry. Anyway, Ayni is, it's a very complex concept, but it is most easily defined in English as sacred reciprocity. And it takes many different forms. It basically is about the give and take of the world that we live in. And I think, and it's very multi-layered. It's not just about, give and take, like I paid for dinner tonight and you pay tomorrow night. It's about everything. It's about, for example, the way that human beings breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. And then the plants breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. That's a wonderful example of the concept of Ayni. But it goes further than that. For example, there's I give to you today, you give to me tomorrow, or maybe I give to Leah today and Leah gives to Barb tomorrow, or, it's a very agricultural society. So, in the villages, if somebody is sick, or like right now, my compadre can't get to Queros. He's stuck in Cusco, like Leah was saying. So someone else has got to help with the potatoes or help herd his herd animals. And then that will come back. There will be a time when they need help. And that's another form of Ayni. So Ayni is central, absolutely central. Almost all of our ceremonies, all of our practices are really acts of Ayni, okay? So that's the first most important thing. The second key principle that I want to discuss is the concept of Kawsai. And that's K-A-W-S-A-Y. And Kawsai is living energy, basically. In the Andean tradition, they believe that everything has consciousness and everything is made of Kawsai. Of course, they're learning that, through quantum physics and quantum mechanics now, that everything is made of energy and that there's actually much more space than there is matter. But the Kawsai is what we work with. And it's not a new concept. It's a very common concept in many traditions, you know, and they call it prana in some traditions, or chi in others, or ki. And, but in the Andean tradition, we call it calci. And the nature of calci is to move. Okay, calci moves when it's free flowing. And this is why things are always changing in the world, is because it's the nature of living energy to move. And when calci is moving well, it's creative, it's super, super abundant, like almost everything in our world is made of calci. Sorry, everything is made of calci, but it's super abundant. And when it's free flowing and flowing well, we call it sami. That's S-A-M-I. S-A-M-I. And sami is free flowing. It's healthy. It's creative. It helps things to grow. It helps things to change. And again, almost all calci is sami. And sami is the Quechua word for nectar. So we call this the divine cosmic nectar of the universe. It's a more refined energy. It's lighter. And it's kind of what we're after in the Andean tradition, is sami. Now, like I said, sami is super abundant. Almost everything is made of calci that we call sami. But human beings have a special distinction from other beings in our world, and that is that we've been given free will. And because of free will, we have the ability to actually slow down the calci. And we tend to do that through our emotions or our attachments to either things or the outcomes of things. And the emotions that cause this energy to slow down are usually when we're using the word no, basically. When we say no to what is, then we are automatically slowing down the calci. And we call this hucha. Okay, that this energy is called hucha. And hucha is not bad. It's not negative. It's just slowed down sami. It's slowed down calci. So the emotions, for example, there's a lot of hucha in the world right now with fear. Fear of so many things, of the virus, of the people losing their livelihoods and losing their loved ones and being restricted in so many ways. So this practice is going to be basically how to get the hucha moving, what to do with it, and how to turn it into sami. Super, super, super important practice. I adore this path mainly because of this, because in no other practice that I've ever learned did anyone ever teach me exactly what to do with the hucha, with the slow moving energy. So this is caused by fear, anger, rage, jealousy, remorse, regret, all of these, like even when I say those words, are kind of heavy, you know, you're like, ugh. But there's nothing wrong with those emotions. We're all human beings, and it's normal to feel these emotions. But what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to let them pass through us. And it's when we get attached to the outcome of things that it creates hucha. So, you know, you hear bad news and you say, no, you know, I've stopped saying no. I just say, oh my gosh, you know, or something else besides no, just something to recognize that it's there, but not to create hucha in the process of dealing with that energy. Okay, so we live on planet Earth, and planet Earth has gravity. Okay, so this is another sort of important thing in the energy work that we do with, because the sami is a lighter energy. It tends to be, you know, higher up, and because hucha is a heavier energy, a denser energy, it tends to be heavier. So the next thing that I want to be sure that everybody understands, because I'm going to talk about it in the meditation, are that in the Andean tradition, they consider that there are 3 worlds. Let me just stop for a second, stop talking, and ask if anybody has any questions. Does anyone have any questions so far? Or need any clarification on anything that I've mentioned? No? Okay, so I'll continue. So they believe that there's 3 worlds. And the word that we use in the Andes for the world is pacha. Okay, again, pacha means a lot of different things, but in terms of the way that we're going to use it here, it basically means the time-space continuum. It's time and space concurrently, but I know you've all heard the word Pachamama. You know, that is the world that, you know, our world, our Pachamama is our Mother Earth. The Pachacuti is, you know, something that we're going through right now, which is turning the world in the time-space continuum upside down. Pachacutec, of course, is the one that's famed for building a lot of the Inca Empire. And so it's a very common word here. So that there are 3 worlds. The upper world, they call the Hanak Pacha. That's Hanaq Pacha. Yes, and Rosemary, sami and hucha are both types of calcite. That's right. She's had a question in the chat box. So all of the energy is calcite. Sami is the lighter, free-flowing, creative energy. Hucha is the energy that's been slowed down by human beings. It's a denser, heavier energy. Okay, so the upper world is called the Hanak Pacha. And the Hanak Pacha is all sami. Okay, when we are working with the Hanak Pacha, we usually visualize the center of the Milky Way. It's the center of the cosmos. I was surprised to find, after several years on this path, that even the sun and the moon are considered to be part of, not part of the Hanak Pacha. So it's the center of the cosmos. It's the stars. You know, visualize the Milky Way, full of sami, super abundant, free-flowing, always, always, always available to you, always. All you have to do, just like Sandy said in her meditation, is set your intention and start pulling it in. And that's what we're going to do in the meditation. Okay, so the Hanak Pacha is symbolized by the condor, and also by the hummingbird. The condor, you know, is a vulture that eats carrion and then takes it, transmutes that energy of a dead being and takes it up, you know, so that's why the condor is a symbol. And condors are, of course, pretty common here in South America. The hummingbird, however, goes straight for the sami. You know, sami is the Quechua word for nectar. So it makes perfect sense that the hummingbird would be the symbol for the Hanak Pacha. And it seems, you know, that traditionally the condor has been the symbol, but a lot of people are moving into the hummingbird here in South America. Okay, so then there is the middle world, the world that we live in, and that world is called Kai Pacha. Okay, which I just put in the chat box. So Kai Pacha is represented by the puma, or in the jungle, it's the jaguar, the otorongo, big cats, basically powerful, you know, very good at navigating this world, the Puma. So Kaipacha is the world that we live in. And again, Kaipacha is almost all Sami, except for when humans turn it into hucha. Okay, so let's see, anything else about Kaipacha? Yeah, Kaipacha is just the world that we live in, and represented by the Puma, and mostly Sami, but has hucha as well. Then the third world is the inner world, and the inner world is called the Ukupacha. That's U-K-H-U, Ukupacha. And this, I love talking about the Ukupacha because it's really quite different from what people think of it as. The Ukupacha is our rich Mother Earth. It's where our food comes from. It's where we put our ancestors. It's our Pachamama, it's our mother. And when the Spanish came here in 1532, and they tried to convince the Inca that hell was beneath us, they like totally lost credibility, because they're like, you must be kidding. That's our Pachamama, that's the Ukupacha. That's symbolic of the subconscious and the past and mystery. And it is a denser energy, it's stone and magma and that sort of thing. But it's certainly not what to the Andeans, it's not what it is to the Catholics. So that is symbolized by the snake. The snake is frequently a symbol of wisdom, and the word for snake in Quechua is maru. So the Ukupacha, like I said, is a denser energy. So something that Westerners frequently struggle with is in these practices is releasing their fear, their heavy energy, their anger, their doubt as hucha, giving it to Pachamama. But if you think about it, Pachamama needs compost. She needs something to work with. She takes the excrement from animals and she composts it and mulches it, and she turns it into something that creates new life. So even after we talk about this, people still tell me that they struggle with the idea of releasing this heavy energy as a sacred gift to Pachamama. But that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so the last word that I talk about here is the word pokpo, P-O-Q, apostrophe P-O. And pokpo is the Quechua word for bubble, okay? And it's basically the energy bubble that surrounds us. And we're going to work with the body and with the pokpo, with the energy bubble as well. The pokpo, it's also called the aura, in other traditions, and its nature, it changes, it changes depending on us and our energy, how happy we are, how safe we feel. If you're out in nature and you're feeling really connected, your pokpo can, extend like forever. If you're in a crowded elevator, with a bunch of people, then you're going to pull your energy field in. So I see most of us are single people here, but we do have one couple that I see. Your pokpos are, bumping into each other right now, which is probably perfectly all right, for you. And that's okay. We do work with the energy field, and sometimes we make group bubbles, to work with, but that's another practice. Okay, so any questions about the terminology or the concepts? Are we going to reference our Mankoswasi? No, we're not. In this particular teaching, Corey, maybe you want to tell me what your definition of the Mankoswasi is. The other animal I talked about besides the condor was the hummingbird.
Well, I was
Corey.
just looking for a little evaluate or elaboration on the Mankoswasi, because I know that I've been told that it is our energy body or our physical body, or there's three parts to it. So I just was curious when you were talking about the kausai and the pokpo as in a relation to it. And it's okay if we're not. That's why I was asking the question. Right.
I think that's a slightly different teaching. I am actually doing a teaching as well with, as Leah was talking about, Tupac Adolfo. They talk about the Mankoswasi a lot. And when they talk about it, it seems to be synonymous with your body and your energy bubble, but I don't know about the third layer. Do you know anything about that? Anybody know about the third layer of the Mankoswasi?
I get it from Adolfo as well. That's why I was asking.
Okay.
So, anyways,
Yeah, I'm
thank you.
still learning that. Yeah.
I am
Okay.
too. Well, I'm just beginning on this path. So thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So we talk about the body and then we talk about the pokpo. All right. So any other questions?
I do.
No, yes, he has one.
I do.
Yes.
May I?
Yes.
Just real quick. So you explained that emotions like anger, guilt, the heavier stuff is what creates hucha. Do animals create hucha?
Generally speaking, no. Okay. I mean, if you, I think a great example of this would be like if you were to see two ducks on a pond, and they get in a fight over something, and then they part, and then what do? They just fluff their feathers, shake it off, and they go on their way. So the way that I've been taught, it's humans that create this. Now, I know that in America, particularly dogs, I think are really not in their natural environment, and sometimes cats. And sometimes I think that they can take on a lot of, I think it's as a gift, they take on a lot of the energy from humans, and they're not in their normal social structure like they hear in Peru. They're free, they're in the streets, and they're doing what dogs do, in the streets. But there might be exceptions to that, but I would say generally speaking, animals tend to accept what's happening instead of just wishing it was something else.
I was just curious, especially like you said, dogs, they do share a very broad range of emotion, and they do carry trauma. They hold on to stuff. They don't always release it. So I was wondering what the difference between those emotions. Again, they feel anger, they feel regret, a lot of these things, jealousy, right? And they don't always fluff it off. So I've always struggled to understand the difference, and if there is one.
Well, from the teachings that I've received, I've been told that it's just humans that create hucha. Now, do we learn from our experiences? Are we traumatized by our experiences? Does, we train dogs, and, sometimes they're trained that if they do such and such, do something bad's going to happen, and so they're not as likely to do that. But I think the difference is whether they hold on to that or whether they let it pass. I mean, dogs are pretty forgiving, generally speaking. It takes a dog that's pretty traumatized to, are they reacting? Are they learning from their experiences, or are they actually sitting there seething in anger? I would say that's the difference. That's really the best answer I can give.
Thank you.
Mr. Marie.
Yeah, well, it's not really a question. It's just a reflection. I just love the way you're saying that hucha is not bad. It's just what it is, and our experiences that are painful don't necessarily have to be hucha creating. That a loved one dies, and of course we're going to feel sorrow. And there's no need to be a problem with that. We can just be with our sorrow and let it flow. it's when we are resisting feeling, and I learned this from Buddhism too, the mindfulness. If we are resisting feeling it, that's when we suffer. And so everything actually can be a blessing if we allow it to flow through us rather than resisting what's happening. Is
I
that
agree
kind of an understanding?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. And like I said, that there's nothing wrong with feeling emotions. You know, we're human. You know, emotions are normal. It's, you know, fear can be a pretty powerful motivator. Sometimes it's a perfectly appropriate reaction. You know, but after, you know, you escape that bear or cat or dog or, you know, whatever it is that's been after you, you know, you need to take a deep breath and you're like, whew, you know, and so no, it's not the emotions themselves that create the hucha. It's holding on to or resisting and not letting them pass. Exactly. Anybody else? Questions? No? Okay. So we are now going to go into the actual practices. Normally when I teach this, I teach them separately, but because I think you guys all are pretty experienced in this, I don't think this is going to be particularly new, you know, to you. We're going to do both practices, okay? And then, you know, you've got this recording, and if you choose to listen to it again, you can use it as a meditation. So we're going to start with Saman Chakwe, and then we're going to move into Saiwa Chakwe. So Saman Chakwe just means to work with, basically. So we're working with sami, Saman Chakwe. And Saman Chakwe is always a cleansing experience, a cleansing meditation. And Saiwa Chakwe, Saiwa is a Quechua word for column. And we'll be using a different direction for the energy, and we'll be working with the column, Saiwa Chakwe, working with a column of energy for that. Okay, so we're going to start the meditation now. So close your eyes and make yourselves comfortable. So you need to be in a place normally when you're doing this where you won't be interrupted for 10 or 15 minutes. And by the way, this, I'm Elizabeth Jenkins. I'm, you know what, let me do this right now before I forget, because I'm afraid I'm going to forget. Elizabeth Jenkins wrote a book called The Fourth Level. Has anybody got that book or read that book? Yeah? Okay, good. So in that book are basically these meditations, and I'm doing a version of that. Great. Okay, Desiree. And so I'm going to now put in a link, okay, to Elizabeth Jenkins' website. It's elizabethbjenkins.com/media. And she has these meditations, these 2 and 3 others, on her website for free. Okay, so I am doing this as more of a teaching meditation. Hers are pretty quick, they're about 10 minutes, but it's great. You know, Saman Chakwe is a wonderful, you don't need any special prayers, you don't need any special rituals. You can do this while you're standing in the line at the bank, you know, it's invisible, it's wonderful. All you have to do is just basically turn it on with your intention. And so, okay, back to the meditation. So you can do this in 2 minutes or even seconds. So bring your awareness into your body. Get comfortable, close your eyes, scooch down in your pillows. And bring your awareness into your body and the beating of your heart, your breathing. And then feel the kausai, feel the life force energy that's flowing through your body. Now notice that the living energy, this cow sai, that is you. It not only fills your body, but it extends beyond your body, surrounding you like a bubble, which we call the pokpo, or part of the Mankoswasi. So since you are cow sai, you are living energy, and everything else is as well, this means that we are able to connect, communicate, and collaborate with everything else via our pokpo and through our intention. So since energy is moved by intention, we are now going to activate our will, our munai, which is usually from our heart. Okay, now imagine the cosmos. Put attention way out into the sky. It's nighttime where most of us are. Just go all the way out, past the moon, past the sun, into the cosmos, into the center of the Milky Way. So it may be a star-studded night sky with the great thick white band of our home galaxy, the Milky Way. So imagine the living cosmos studded with billions and billions of stars and galaxies. All of those stars, galaxies, all of the cosmos above our heads produce an infinite amount of the finest living energy, the finest cow sai that we call sami. So for right now, just perceive the cosmos as living energy. Okay, now come back into your body and become aware of the bubble that surrounds you. It kind of has a skin to it. Just see how far it extends. It usually extends about from a few inches to maybe a foot above your head and a few inches to a foot below your feet. This is your pokpo. So now with your intention, open up the top of your pokpo, right above the crown of your head. And with your intention, start pulling in sami from the center of the cosmos. So you're now receiving the influx of this super abundant sami from the cosmos, an influx of divine cosmic nectar. It's pouring in, filling your entire body, filling in all the cells of your body, cleansing and invigorating and refreshing you with new life force energy. Just keep breathing it in, breathe it in, and breathe it in. And then when you feel like your body is full enough of sami, push it out into your pokpo, push it out into your energy bubble. This is your birthright, doing this, just like breathing fresh air. So you keep on drinking this finest energy into your body. Fill your head with sami. Breathe it in through your crown. Fill your throat, your heart, your lungs, your arms and hands, your belly, hips, legs, feet. Just breathe in this beautiful, beautiful, superabundant sami. Fill your entire body and your entire bubble with the living cow sai from the cosmos. Okay, now just take a moment to remember that we are all standing or sitting or living on an enormous living being, our beautiful Pachamama, which has gravity. Remember, the sami energy is light and the hucha energy is heavy. So as you were breathing in the sami, it would be very natural, because of gravity, for the hucha to have started moving down your body, down your bubble. So bring your attention now to the bottom of your pokpo, the bottom of your bubble, which is surrounding your feet. and perhaps even going down into the earth. Just like Sandy did in her meditation, where she sent a taproot down. We're just going to use our intention. But you may notice that where your bubble sinks down into the ground, you now open the bottom of your bubble and offer as a sacred gift to Pachamama, along with your love, all of the hucha, all of the heavy energy that has been accumulating in your bubble with nowhere to go. So this is a sacred gift. Pachamama wants this. Remember, it's not bad, it's not negative, it's just heavy, slowed down, or stuck energy. And it belongs in the Ukupacha. The Ukupacha needs this. This is a sacred gift you are giving to Pachamama. So you release this heavy energy, just feel the outflow going out, down through your feet with no more guilt or remorse than you would have in exhaling. Just know that this heavy energy is a gift. Remember, Pachamama is the great composter of all things, material and energetic. So now you can feel the hucha flowing down your legs, out your feet, into Mother Earth, and your feet might even feel tingly, heavy, or even feel magnetized to the ground. You're using your intention to connect your energy field to Pachamama and to release your hucha to her as a sacred gift. She knows exactly what to do with it. Trust her. Trust her to know what she is doing and just enjoy the outflow of these heavy energies that naturally and organically flow down your legs because they no longer belong in your body or in your pokeball. Keep releasing your heavy energy until the outflow starts to slow down and you feel a sense of relief. Okay, now return your attention back to the top of your pokeball, your bubble, and now breathe in and absorb the finest energy again, the sami from the infinite cosmos, filling in all of the places from which you just released the hucha. Refill your body and your bubble with the finest sami of the cosmos, especially bringing that energy into any areas of pain or tension in your body, or into any areas of injury or hurt, be they physical, mental, or emotional. Okay, just breathe it in. Feel it filling in. We don't want to leave empty spaces. We want to use our intention to fill those empty spaces from the release of the hucha with sami. Now bring your attention back down to the bottom of your bubble, and again, with your intention, start to release any more heaviness that is in your body or in your popo. As you breathe in the sami, the hucha naturally starts to flow down. Release any hucha, any heaviness from any areas of chronic pain or tension in your body. Let's just let it go. Release any anger or sadness, doubt, worry, fear, anxiety. Just let it go. Give it back to Pachamama. This energy no longer serves you. Now release any energies that belong to other people and aren't even yours. Let them go. Give them back to Pachamama. Release, release, release as a sacred gift with so much love to Pachamama, everything that is ready to be released from your body, from your pokpo, as a sacred gift, just as you offer your carbon dioxide to the plants and trees with love and gratitude. When you feel the flow of heavy energy subsiding, return your attention once again to the top of your pokpo and receive the finest energy, refilling your bubble with cosmic sami, cosmic nectar, and refreshing your entire energy system. One last time, open your bubble at the bottom of your feet and offer any remaining hucha to Pachamama until you've created a wonderfully grounded and connected sense of well-being in your body and in your pokpo, between you, the earth, and the cosmos. Okay, now with your intention, close the bottom of your pokpo, close the bottom of your bubble. And one last time, breathe in the sami from the center of the cosmos, the divine cosmic Pachatata, Father Sky nectar. Breathe it in. Fill your body. Fill your pokpo. Fill it. Just breathe it in. So now there's no outward flow, no downward flow. You're filling any spaces, leaving no vacuum, breathing in the sami. And when you're ready, you can slow down the flow of the sami that's coming into your bubble and then close the top of your bubble, your pokpo. Okay, that was the first energy practice. That was Samin Chakwe. We are going to move straight into Saiwa Chakwe. Now, right now, your body, your pokpo should be intact. Okay? Just notice for a moment how you feel. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel different? What does the divine cosmic Father Sky Sami feel like to you? Does it have a color? Does it have a texture? Okay, now, Saiwa Chakwe is, let me just remind you, Samin Chakwe is always cleansing. So we've just been cleansing your body and your pokpo with Sami. The next practice, Saiwa Chakwe, is empowering. Okay? So now that we have received the finest energy from the cosmos, and we have offered as a sacred gift our hucha to Pachamama, then the law of Aini, a sacred reciprocity, gives us another opportunity for exchange. Because we've offered to Pachamama, we now have the right to receive her sami, her finest living energy, her kausai in return. And because we received from the cosmos, then by the law of Aini, we are going to return sami to the cosmos. And this will complete the great cycle of sacred energy exchange. So now bring your attention back into your body, to your breathing, to your heartbeat, and just sense the edges of your pokpo, of your energy body. Okay, notice the living being of Pachamama beneath you. Now with your intention, open the bottom of your pokpo, the bottom of your bubble near your feet, and through your intention, start to pull sami up, the kausai, the finest living energy from Pachamama, knowing that because you gave to her, she will always give back to you through the law of Aini. you now have a right to receive Pachamama's finest energy. So breathe that up just by opening your popo, opening your bubble. Start to breathe up the energy. The inner world, the ukupacha, isn't all hucha. There's lots and lots of sami there. So breathe it up. Fill your body. Fill your popo. How does that feel? Does that energy feel different from the cosmic energy that you were breathing in earlier? Does this energy have a color to it or a texture? This is the love from our Pachamama. This is the love from our Mother Earth. And she wants to give it to you. All you have to do is ask. Okay, continue to breathe up the sami from Pachamama until you feel that your body and your bubble are as full as they can be. And now with your intention, open the top of your bubble and shoot this sami right to the center of the cosmos. Add your own personal finest sami, your own love and gratitude. Use all that beautiful, delicious energy, and you build a beautiful column of living energy that flows out the top of your head and up into the cosmos. Now feel that flow. Keep pulling it up from Pachamama and shooting it out through the top of your head, adding your own delicious flavor, your own muna, your own love and will. Pachamama and the cosmos love it that we do this. We're acting as a conduit, like a jumper cable. And they love that we're paying attention, that we're doing this. So continue to use your intention to pull the sami from Pachamama through your popo, add your own finest sami, and formulate a giant column of the finest living energy flowing up into the heart of the cosmos. Make sure that your column of energy flows out the top of your head and reaches all the way to the heart of the cosmos to complete this beautiful, magnificent cycle of Aini, sacred reciprocity. Okay, now, when you're ready, I know that's an awful lot of fun and you can do it anytime you want, but with your intention now, close the top of your bubble, close the top of your popo, and breathe up one last time, a beautiful energetic embrace from Pachamama. Make sure that your body and your bubble are full of sami. So you've received the finest energy from the cosmos. You've offered your hucha to Pachamama. Then you've received Pachamama's sami, her finest energy in return. And now you've offered back your finest energy to the cosmos. One complete cycle. One beautiful, great cycle of energetic Aini reciprocity between you, Pachamama, and the cosmos through something that we all share, our field of living energy, our kausai. Now just take a moment, notice how you feel. Has your perception shifted or changed in any way? Notice your energy field, your bubble, your pokemon. Does it feel different? Do you have any new insights or sensations? Could be colors, it could be music, it could be messages, songs. Okay, take a moment to just savor that. Close the bottom of your popo. Come back into your body. feel your heartbeat, feel your breath. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, that's it.
That was beautiful.
Any
Yeah.
questions? Does anyone want to share? Any sensations?
Well, I've done both of those practices quite often and listened to Elizabeth's her guidance in that. But that was really good. That was like better. That was awesome. I really appreciate it. Maybe I just needed it. It was great. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just such a beautiful experience. You can, again, you know, that was a longer version of it because it's meant to be a teaching version to familiarize you with the terminology. Elizabeth doesn't tend to use the Quechua words as much. She more translates things into English. But since I'm in Peru and we're in the Andes and this is an Andean teaching, I thought I'd just share that. Does anyone want to share?
Yes, just many things. Very was beautiful, and I felt like complete. I don't know if I can say that in English, but yeah, I feel like good. Many thanks. It was a great experience.
Pachamama's so grateful that we're sharing this. I mean, can you imagine the frustration of these nature beings saying, all you've got to do is ask, you know, all you got to do is set your intention. Give me that hucha, stop carrying it around. She just got an early yummy meal, you know?
She did. That was beautiful. Does anybody else have any questions before we?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say I really love that. And you are an excellent teacher, Lisa. You
Thank
really
you,
did a
Al.
good job of breaking that down. And I'm going to steal from that if you don't mind when I do
You
it with
are
my
quite
clients.
welcome. It's not mine, it's ours.
Well, I know, but you do a much better job of explaining it all than I do. So I thought you did just a great job. And then are you still on here? Are Alex and Desiree on here?
Yeah, we're right here.
Yes.
Okay, so you might want to try the book Waking the Tiger by Peter Levine if you know it.
That's really
He talks.
It just came in the mail.
Yes. He talks a lot about the animals and how they deal with trauma and hucha in that book. And I love the way he does it. So I think you're going to love it. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm leaving. Thank you so much, Leah, for doing this.
Yeah, I'm so glad you got on. Yay.
Yay. I think I got it now. You just do it a little different than I do, but it was wonderful. And Lisa, I hope you teach again. I really do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Allison.
Yeah, it was great. Well, so what I would like everybody to do is if you would put yourself now on the gallery view where we can all be together so we're not spread out anymore. So what I would like as we're getting ready to close, now before I do the closing prayer is next week, Jeff Firewalker will be teaching. So I'm excited about that. And the following week on the 19th of May, Beto will be doing a despacho. So I'm not really clear what that's going to look like just yet in this scenario, but we're working on it. And so I'm excited about that also. And then I have more people scheduled, exciting people. I'm just so excited for the ones that are stepping up that want to teach in this format. So spread the word and let people know so they can come in and be part of this IU here that we've created. As we circle around the fire. So hold on, I'm going to mute. Somebody's mute. What I want to do in our closing, as we're setting, I want you to envision all of us around this fire that we've created, this sacred fire that we're coming to and that we have connections with always. And just, even if it's, we're in this virtual grid, but even think about reaching out and holding the person's hands that are next to you to connect. And I'm going to just read this closing prayer as we're connected. Calling in sacred balance, from this place we pray. May we be the medicine offered this day. Our minds, bodies, and hearts are now woven as one. Great love healing as the first ray of the sun. I hope. Yeah.
Into the flame of my candle. I pulled it.
You what?
I pulled that into the flame of the candle. We're all one.
Wonderful. Okay, guys. What I'm going to do, I think I've learned one lesson. I'm gonna copy everybody's. As you register, I get your email. So since people are having trouble with Facebook, I'm still going to post it on Facebook, but I'll be sending an email out with the PayPal if you want to donate. Along with next week, I'll also do emails for the new link for the Teaching with Jeff. And keep in mind, I'm learning, so we'll get it all figured out. But I so appreciate y'all being part of this this community that we're building, and it's a blessing for me to be part of it. Yeah, y'all can stay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna, y'all. Anybody can hang out and talk if you want to. Alice, are you still here? Alice, there you are, Alice. I don't know how you found us, but I'm really glad. Alice is French and she's in Peru.
I found you thanks to Facebook.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here.
But it was a long story. Like, it was friends of me. I was Colombian who lives in Geneva, and she liked a post, and then from post to post I came to the group.
Oh, wow.
Well, it was just the right time.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and I hope you'll come back. I hope you'll be with us some more. We're meeting every week.
Yeah, okay, I will try. I have to in English, but
Where are you in Cusco,
sorry?
Alice?
Yeah, I'm nearby the airport.
Okay.
Did you send me a message yesterday? Was that you?
Sorry?
Did you send me a message yesterday? Was that you?
Maybe. I don't know if it's you or Leah, but maybe, yes.
That's the one I forwarded to you today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did me yesterday and Leah today.
Sadie's still here. So Sadie's also stuck and quarantined in Peru too. She was one of the ones that didn't get out. So she's where do you live in Mexico?
Oops.
Are you, Sadie? Is your home? Where's your home?
Right now I'm living in Tulum in Mexico. Yeah.
Okay.
So all over, from the States, living in Mexico, and currently in Cusco.
Yeah, she's
As
one
it
of
goes.
those, Angel, that she got stuck. She got stuck over there. Angel got out the day before the shutdown.
I think it was lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided to
Stuff
stop
here, to be honest with you. It's pretty good place to be stuck.
stopped where I am and let the tiny flow from there.
Yeah.
All about surrender.
Yes. Yes, that's for sure. That is for sure. And I'm going to find out more about what Dora's doing. And like I said, I'm going to be doing I'll be sending the link for the PayPal, and I'll be, like I said, I'm going to send some money already tomorrow, but anything that you can donate would be greatly appreciated, and we'll just keep it in the pot and divvy it out as it's needed. So, yeah. And I'm open for any suggestions. That's another thing. This is a calling for me. This is spirit driven. So I'm open via email to give me feedback, suggestions. Lisa's and I've talked about several things, and I've heard everything she said. So it's a learning process for me. Hey Eva, I'm glad
Thank you,
got it.
Leah.
Okay,
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye bye.
Bye y'all. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye, Yike.
thank you, Lisa. This was great. Thank you, Leah.
Bye. Thank you.
Guys.
Yeah.
Just Leah, do we have a replay or to?
Hold on. Let me stop this recording. That's one thing that
Good idea.